Let's talk about writing. It has been a while since I've done anything writing related on this channel. I took a break from publishing a couple years ago due to some life issues, general discontent in the writing industry, and just having some issues that I needed to work through. However, I am still a writer at my core. I have stories to tell, stories that I think about all the time. So I am getting back to writing a little bit more regularly. And currently I am working on a cozy mystery series. It's called Sunflower Hollow. It's about a former spiritualist colony in Washington State. Fictional. It doesn't actually exist. And some of the happenings that go on there and the weird characters who live there. And it's been a lot of fun to work on, but currently my draft of the first book is extremely short. I need to flesh out a lot. And there's been some structural issues with book one that are stopping me from working on book two. So I've recently had some brainwaves on how to fix book one so that I can move on to book two, and that is something that I have been working on lately. So some of the structural things that I'm looking to change in this book is, number one, she needs to have more contact with the villain up front. I also need to flesh out how the bad guys' system works. They've got like a theft ring, and I need to figure out more of the logistics and more precisely what each person does in order to make it make more sense at the ending. The other thing that I need to work on is just some little logistics in how things work in the town. I need to introduce the mayor in book one, and she initially wasn't going to show up until at least book two. So there's that. I already know who the mayor is. I know what her personality is. It's just a matter of writing her into the book. And then I've also got a frenemy character who needs to play a bigger role in book one so that she can play her role in book two. So that is where I'm standing with it right now. That should help me add significantly to the word count. I'm probably going to have to rewrite a few scenes, and I'm going to have to pay really close attention to the timeline now. I've currently been rereading it and adding some small changes. But I had rearranged some scenes previously, and I realized the timeline didn't make sense anymore. Or rather, the timeline made sense, but there were references to the timeline that didn't make sense. So, they would reference something as happening previously when now it doesn't happen for another 5 chapters. So I'm going through and working on that, and I need to identify where these changes are being made. So just all of this being that I'm looking to publish again, I don't know. Right now, I am just working on the story. I am enjoying the story. As you can probably tell by the view count on my videos, I have very few followers. I don't sell a lot of books. I have been repeatedly rejected from agents, and it's basically just been I like it, but I don't love it. That's the consistent feedback that I get, and that is not constructive. It doesn't help me improve, especially when all of the alpha and beta readers I've had have really loved the story. So it's been very difficult for me to figure out what I'm doing wrong in my writing that makes it not marketable. And I know part of the answer to that is I write neurodiverse main characters, which a lot of neurotypical people don't like. And I don't write a lot of romance. This story does have a very mild romance that is built into this series. It doesn't show up in book one really, but I'm not gonna write spicy scenes because that's not my bag. I am Arrow Ace, and so I'm writing what I find to be romantic, which is a very balanced relationship that is very caring. Um, they're they have the same interests. They take an interest in what is different about what each other, and they provide help and support to each other. But that is what I find romantic, not rolling around on the floor taking each other's clothes off. And this is a whole other rant, but my problem with the romance industry is that they conflate romance with sexual attraction, and they are two very different things. And I do not write the latter. So it's been very hard for me to find a place, especially because a lot of my books are geared at women, and a lot of marketing people, editors, and agents are like, oh no, you need to add more romance to this because it's for women. And I know that the spicy books are really popular escapism, but that's not me. I'm here for the story. I'm not here for the spicy time. So that has been something that I have really struggled with in my publishing journey. And I'm not going to change it. It's a fundamental aspect of what and why I write what I do. So it's going to stay. I'm not going to change that, especially because I don't think I could write it very well because that is not my lived experience. And I don't enjoy reading it. So even like the research would be kind of painful for me. So that is where we are right now on the story. I'm going to sit down and do some brainstorming and make some notes. I'm trying to find the binder I have for this book, and I can't find it off the top of my head, so I'll have to look for it later and just make some notes in a random notebook that I can add later. But yeah, that is where we stand right now on my writing. I'm also longhand drafting a couple of other stories, just very, very slowly, like a couple paragraphs every couple of weeks type of thing. One of them is another cozy mystery, which is set in a fictional town that is based off of a town near where I grew up. It's kind of a cross between Bellefontaine, Ohio and Urbana, Ohio. And it's about a former Washingtonian who basically burns down her life and moves into what she later discovers is the family ancestral home in Ohio. And ends up running into some issues with a couple local people, ends up making some friends, and ends up getting accused of murder. It is also cozy adjacent. It's a little bit more serious than Sunflower Hollow, but it's still kind of in that genre. And then the other one that I'm working on is a historical fiction, paranormal, and the whole concept of it is, what if Ed and Lorraine Warren were decent people? That's basically the concept. So it is about a medium who teams up with, I haven't decided what denomination he is yet, but like a priest or a pastor. He's probably going to end up being Anglican because this is set in London. But I need to do more research on how the Anglicans treat the paranormal because I was raised Lutheran and Lutherans don't really do paranormal. So I need to do some more research on that in terms of like how they treat exorcisms and what their specific beliefs are regarding that. But the two of them team up and they're trying to help families in haunted homes in the London area. So that one has been fun to write on, but I need to go back and refresh my research on that and do a little bit more additional research on it, which is why that one is going so slowly. But yeah, that is where we are on the writing. And I will try to do a couple of like writing vlogs here in the future. I'm still just getting back into making videos, so I don't want to stress myself out too much about doing this, especially because I'm a union steward. We're in our bargaining season right now, and I'm also taking classes. And so my summer, I don't know what my schedule is going to look like yet. And I know that once we get into fall and winter quarter, I'm going to be really busy. So I don't want to commit to anything or overcommit. And that's pretty much where we are. So I am going to wrap up here. If you enjoyed this, if you want to see more videos about writing or knitting or crafty bits, make sure to like and subscribe to this channel so you know when I upload, because I do have kind of a sporadic upload schedule. And if you are more interested in cozy mysteries, discussing cozy mysteries, working on cozy crafts while we talk about it, then head on over to my second channel, Cozy Shenanigans, and I will see you there. Ciao.